Allie, my girl, I'm really hoping that you're having to watch all of this go down on your For You page right now. The entire situation and the fire under your ass right now was completely avoidable, and all you had to do was not try to claim something that was never yours to begin with.
Hey. Hey. How y'all doing?
But no, Allie, it was very, very clear. And if you didn't like the way that it came across, you wrote it all down. You're the one that posted this. You are the one that had the time to process what you were saying. You don't like the reaction. It's not that you don't like what you said. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome if you are new here. So if you've been on my channel, you know we do talk about book talk. Occasionally, we haven't since I think it was January. But today's video is about book talk. And the reason I'm talking about it is because when I saw the story, no pun intended, I was floored. So to set this up, you know how social media has brought about a lot of different phrases over the years, whether you use those phrases or not. I think you know what I'm talking about. Hot girl summer, um, girl dinner I've been seeing recently, which is I love a good girl dinner. I don't say it, but I definitely know people mean. Um, what are some other ones? Very mindful, very demure. Basically, those type of phrases, the kind of phrases that we don't always know where they started. We can't always pinpoint that, but they start somewhere, they start to pick up traction, and then it seems like everybody is saying it on social media at least. Now imagine one of those very commonly used phrases getting trademarked. Not by like a big company, not by a celebrity, nothing like that. No, but by a very small creator on TikTok who has now made it their mission to hurt small businesses in a community that they claim to not only love but be a part of. This woman on TikTok has officially trademarked the saying hot girls read, and she is going after anybody who has made merch with the saying on it. Yeah, that's what's going on BookTok. It has all of BookTok in an uproar. It's a very wild story. The whole situation kind of reminds me of, you know, you hear of those people who hit like 5,000 followers, right? And suddenly they think they are this big influencer, that they're better than everybody else. They should get handouts, or not handouts, but free things because of it. It's just crazy. And whether you're a big reader, whether you are a part of BookTok, I think you're going to find this story very, very frustrating because, first of all, we are talking about an influencer, if you can even call her that, just doing very out of touch things. But not only that, she is really going out of her way to, like I said, harm small businesses. And I feel like in this world, the last thing that we should be doing is trying to tear down small businesses, especially over something as trivial as this. So buckle up because it's a crazy one. It's a bit heated, and let's get into it. Okay, so first we need to break down who it is that officially trademarked the term or slogan, not slogan, saying hot girls read, and in the process pissed all of Book Talk off. And that woman's name is Allie. She runs a small business called Allie Rose Co. Very original name for a business, very original. But yeah, she sells a bunch of book related merch, mainly bookmarks. She also sells some apparel and other accessories.
What will I do for the shot for marketing? Thank you so much for asking. Anything. I'll do just about anything. I have the, well, hey, surprise, I have Hot Girls Read Camo Cruise coming up soon.
It's all very basic, generic merchandise, stuff, styles, stuff that I have seen all over the internet. And again, nothing original. Basically, what I'm saying is that from what I saw, at least on what she's selling, it's nothing new, it's nothing groundbreaking. Um, I feel like you could go on a lot of websites, a lot of businesses, small businesses, and find very similar products. Now, something that I think is you have to sort of keep in mind for this video, for this topic specifically, is that Allie is a relatively new member to Book Talk. She has stated that she only started to really love reading a few years ago, which is fine. You know, it's fine. You know, you can start reading at any age, at any time in your life. that's okay. I just recently started getting more into reading, and that's okay. That's not the issue. The issue is that Allie only just recently ish joined the community and now is trying to take some sort of ownership over it and bring down said community that she joined. Makes total sense, but we're going to get into that here in a minute. So, this past week, Allie went on to her business Instagram, kind of just teasing something big was coming. And also important to note that I think just about everything has been since deleted, but of course, screenshots have been saved. But the big news, the big exciting news was that her trademark had officially come through for the saying, Hot Girls Read. And in her post, she said, Hot Girls Read is officially ours, which is code for officially hers because greed, greed, greed. But let's keep reading. She says, 3-ish years ago, after I started reading more consistently and finally starting to love to read, I put HGR in some bookmarks and cruise, and the rest is freaking history. In the least corny way possible, that little phrase changed my life and changed the entire course of a business in a way I never saw coming. I love that because of those 3 words, a lot of you found me, and I love talking about books with you. This is for the freaking girls. Now, that alone is bold to post because, well, not basically, she is claiming ownership over a phrase that has been in the book talk, specifically the book talk community, for years and years and years. I think I was reading it kind of started around 2020, which would have been 3 years before she joined. And even just the phrase, hot girls, fill in the blank, it's been around for a long time too. I've heard that saying hot girls, hot girl walk, hot girls have tummy issues. You know what I mean? I've heard that for years and years and years. I don't know where it started, but I know for a fact she did not start it. So for her to act like, I started making this merch and it changed my life, and those 3 words is how a lot of you found me, like she's coming across as so self-absorbed, but it gets worse. It gets a lot worse because that definitely made people mad, but it was the following thing that really, really pissed people off, rightfully so. Because she goes on to sort of elaborate on it and also kind of warn people who are selling items with the phrase to stop doing that. Let me read you what she said. Okay, so she said this is celebratory, of course, or OFC, 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 of course, of course, of course. But I also want to very gently, with peace and love, lots of exclamation points to, I think, soften the blow, say that I officially have the trademark for Hot Girls Read in the following categories: bookmarks, stickers, notebook covers, book covers, notepads, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hooded sweatshirts. I have seen HGR, Hot Girls Read, on lots of items from other businesses that follow me, so that if that's you, please remove those listings from your site as soon as possible. Heart with love. Lots of exclamation points. Again, gotta soften the blow. Her saying with peace and love and, with love, or even earlier, this one is for the freaking girls. This might be a hot take, but I feel like people who speak like this are actually mean girls. Or if we're going to speak like how the internet talks, internet slogans and sayings for the theme of the videos, it's mean girl coded. Do you know what I mean? It just comes across as incredibly passive aggressive. And in this case, that's exactly what it was. Allie was being passive aggressive, but she was trying to come off as like it's for the girls. It's for all of you, as if all of you are going to be making money off of this. And I truly don't know what Allie was expecting the outcome, the reaction to be to this. Again, she does come across as incredibly self-absorbed. So she very well might have thought that people were going to be happy and on board with this. but that's not what happened at all.
Allie, my girl, I'm really hoping that you're having to watch all of this go down on your For You page right now. The entire situation and the fire under your ass right now was completely avoidable, and all you had to do was not try to claim something that was never yours to begin with. If you want to get on a deeper level about it, we can. As a former business owner and clothing designer, someone's always going to steal your designs, and you just need to get over that. Because guess what? You stole someone's designs too. You did not come up with the fonts that are on your products, and you did not come up with the art. Just like the fonts and the arts that you stole to put on your products, you did not create the phrase "hot girls read." That's been around long before you even started your company. One of the main things you've shown with this entire experience is that you are insecure about your art and you know that there are better products from other people out there. There are so many lawsuits coming your way, and I hope you were thoroughly prepared because no one's backing you up.
Immediately no. Immediately no. Immediately no. I'm telling you right now, I seen what I needed to see.
When are people going to learn that you don't mess with the book community? One thing that readers have is time, and the other thing that readers can't stand is people who think that they have the audacity. Trademarking the term hot girls read when it was first introduced onto the actual internet back in 2009 is outrageous. And asking small businesses and being like, hey, just let you know, this is trademark now, so go ahead and take all of your stuff down. Like, who do you think you are? Obviously, other people have been using this phrase. If you have to ask so many businesses to take this stuff down. Also, are you going to go against Barnes & Noble, who also uses the term hot girls read? But you know, at the end of the day, I hope you've learned your lesson because all of your comments are turned off. Your videos seem to have a ton of views, but not a ton of likes. So obviously people are just going there to kind of see what you're about, but they don't actually like any of your stuff. And now your trademark is likely going to be canceled because there are enough people who are going up against you saying, hey, you can't trademark that term because everybody else has been using it for a very long time. The audacity.
So then, in typical influencer backtracking fashion, Allie put out a apology, I guess, or because we all misunderstood her. That's all it was. Let me read you that. Okay, so she said, I've seen and read a lot of people's anger about me trademarking hot girls read, so I want to chat about it and clear some things up the best that I can. I filed this trademark to protect my products from others copying it, which is common to do when selling products. I was I was advised to trademark it when it initially started to gain traction from the bookmarks and sweatshirt backs and I can't read. I cannot read today, which is not the right time to not be able to read for a book about reading stuff. Anyway, in 2023, at that time, I didn't see anyone with apparel or bookmarks that said Hot Girls Read, although I'm not at all denying that they existed. Since the trademark went through, I haven't come after any small businesses, bookstores that sell products saying HGR asking them to take anything down directly. False, she has, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. I did post a story outlining the categories I have the trademark in, giving a heads up that those items are included, and I asked if you have HGR items in those categories to take them down from your site. There have been businesses that copied my work in its entirety, and that message was for them. Although I see why it seemed like it came from a place of aggression or malice towards other small businesses that I was referring to. My message wasn't clear, and I don't like the way it sounded. The goal is and was not meant to come after small businesses. The goal is and was not meant to come after small businesses. I don't intend to do that whatsoever. This trademark was simply to protect myself. I feel like when this sort of thing happens, it's always the same thing. We, the audience, misunderstood, or in her case, she said the message wasn't clear. But no, Allie, it was very, very clear. And if you didn't like the way that it came across, you wrote it all down. You're the one that posted this. You are the one that had the time to process what you were saying. You don't like the reaction. It's not that you don't like what you said, but again, it was very clear. You, for whatever reason, thought that you had come up with the saying hot girls read, and you, in a very passive aggressive, bitchy way, warned other small businesses who were also using the phrase on their merchandise to take it down immediately. And that you did, because there are now people coming out with screenshots of messages from you or your company that say, hey, Hot Girls Read is now trademarked by you, so this listing should be removed. And you send them a link to any of the items that the small businesses are selling that have Hot Girls Read on it. Yeah, to me, that's pretty dang clear what your intentions were. uh, and that you try to come across as some girl's girl or, someone who is all about supporting small businesses, shopping local, all of that, while in the same breath trying to take small businesses down. Makes sense, Allie. You're coming across very crystal clear to me. And of course, this is the internet that we are dealing with, and the internet did its thing. People did some digging and found that Allie is a bit of a hypocrite because she has created many, many, many designs, uh, sold many, many things that were knockoffs of other people's works, their creations.
Hi, my name's Allie, and I sell bookmarks for a living. Not actually, but kind of. And I've gotten a couple new followers, so I want to explain my bookmarks, just go through some bestsellers, what everyone's favorites are. I don't know. I just feel like this is overdue. Anyways, it all started in 2023. I put the term Hot Girls Read on these bookmarks with a little checker to be like something cute that pops out of your book. I don't know. It felt different. It felt cool. People really liked them. These, to this day, are my bestseller between my site and TikTok shop. I love them because it's kind of where everything started with these bookmarks. Then I came up with the idea of color swatch bookmarks. And this is kind of where everything went crazy. I came up with this idea at first to mimic, it's inspired by like a paint swatch, right? So this is ACOTAR, Emily Henry, and Colleen Hoover. So it says the title of the book, and then I color dropped the colors of the covers. Excuse me, it's such a tongue twister. And then where the color code would be, or like the hex code, that is the release date of the book. So
trademarking Hot Girls Read, but then using somebody else's trademark. Like, Taylor Swift has all of these phrases trademarked. And ACOTAR is trademarked by Sarah J. Maas is like one of the wildest things I've ever heard of. But go off, girlfriend. Trademark a phrase everybody uses, and then go after other small businesses for using them.
The point is that none of her work is original. None of it. And in fact, and I don't know if this is true, but I did see a lot of people saying that a lot of her stuff is designed with canvas. I think it's Canva, but not like the from scratch Canva, like the templates that Canva will provide for people. And she just fills in what she wants. So yeah, it's incredibly hypocritical for her to go and trademark something and go and harass small businesses when she herself has taken designs, sayings, logos, all the things to use for her own personal gain. And I saw this other video when I was doing my research, and it was somebody talking about their experience with Allie Rose Co. And it had nothing to do with the trademarks, but I thought it was important um to add in my video because it kind of, to me at least, shows what Allie's business is modeled on. And to me at least, it's quick cash drops with not a lot of thought put into them. It's just kind of like quick turnover products. How can I get as much money for basically total crap as possible?
I've had a bone to pick with the Hot Girls Read girl, the Allie Rose Co girl who decided that she was going to trademark a very common saying that she didn't come up with for a hot minute. I have a couple of her bookmarks, and I was looking on her website one day a couple months ago, and she had a subscription box. This is literally from her website. It says each month a box full of stationery, stickers, and more gets delivered to you. Shipping is included in the cost of the box. Each box is valued around $35, including the cost of shipping. This is the photo that accompanied stationery and sticker subscription box. So I'm thinking, oh my God, what a deal, what a value. Look at all this stuff. This stuff is great. I want this. Multiple bookmarks, multiple stickers, multiple cute things, sticker sheets, pads, all this stuff. I'm like, what a great value. I wait, and finally the box arrives, and I get it out of the mailbox. It's very light. I open it up, and what do I find inside? I find 2 bookmarks that both say Hot Girls Read, 2 stickers that also say Hot Girls Read, a notepad that says cleaning to-do list. That's it. I thought surely I didn't spend $28 on 2 bookmarks, 2 stickers, and a notepad. Surely you don't think that that's $35 worth of stuff, especially when on your website, this is the photo. Anyways, I canceled the subscription. I'll never buy from her again. She obviously has an overinflated ego and sense of what her work is worth. Really disgusting that she's trying to trademark Hot Girls Read. Everybody says that. Everybody uses that. Get a grip.
Imagine spending almost $30 on a subscription box filled with junk. Not even what you were promised. Just probably a fraction, I would say. from what it sounded like, of what was actually promised in the listing. And it's all things that you can make on Canva for free. But beyond that, she's obviously not the first person to come up with a subscription-based model. That's not some groundbreaking concept. So, by her logic, should the very first person to come up with subscription boxes, be able to go after her and every other business that uses that model? No. That's why this thing is so ridiculous, because where does it end? Because if she genuinely believes that she should be able to go after someone selling merchandise with this phrase on it, then by her same logic, like I said, she probably wouldn't even have a business herself. Her entire brand exists because people before her created ideas, trends, products, and communities that she built upon. She didn't start them, she joined them. And sure, maybe legally she was able to trademark the saying, but was it smart? Absolutely not. And I think she probably realizes that now at this point, because even though she tried to set it up like it was this decision that was going to benefit her community, it it wasn't. Her decision to do this was 100% greed-based. She wanted to take ownership of something that didn't belong to her in the first place so that she could make as much money as possible, taking away from others in the process. And ironically, that same greed is single-handedly the thing that just destroyed her business.
I am a trademark attorney and I love to read, so let's talk about the trademark for Hot Girls Read. This trademark just got registered and the reading community is frustrated, and honestly, I get it. Here is what is interesting to me though as a trademark attorney. When we do a comprehensive trademark search for a client before filing, we are not just looking at what's registered with the USPTO, the US Patent and Trademark Office. We are also always looking at the internet and looking at general internet results. And if you search the phrase Hot Girls Read, you immediately see that this has been all over TikTok and Instagram for years. And that is super important because what that shows is that there has been prior use of this mark. And that's where I'm sitting across from a client and saying, hey, you technically could file this, but just so you know, because you were not the first one to use this phrase, your registration is vulnerable. What I mean by that is someone with earlier use can come back and challenge your registration. Then on the flip side, because when you own a trademark, you have to enforce your mark. You're going to be going after a community that basically built the phrase you are now claiming.
So I saw that an author named Michelle Khalil has raised money to file a cancellation for the trademarks that Allie has taken out. And not only that, to trademark Allie Rose Co., her company's name, since Allie didn't trademark that, which I feel like would have been a smart thing to trademark. But again, the decision to trademark was not coming from a place of wisdom, it was coming from a place of greed. Honestly, I don't know if it would be possible for her to come back from this because look, I'm not a member of BookTok, but from what I have read, this is what I know. BookTok they're never 100% unified on anything except for this. Everyone on BookTok is like, "Girl, what are you doing? What did you do?" And I feel like when, something like this happens where usually nobody can agree, but everyone agrees, it's very telling. It's very telling, and to me, it's telling that this girl's not going to be able to come back from this. Her business, at least, is not going to be able to come back from this, is what I mean. There's no way that anybody's going to be supporting Allie Rose Co., its products, whatever it comes up with going forward. And I think that this topic is something that even though we don't talk about book talk all the time, it's still a topic we do talk about quite often on here. And it's this influencer mentality that we just keep seeing happening over and over and over again. And it's just so tiring at this point because the way that Allie handled this is yet another example of an influencer forgetting that the community is the reason they have a business in the first place. Their audience is the reason that they have customers. Their audience is the reason that they have an income. Their audience is the reason that they can live the lifestyle that they currently have. And the second that people start feeling like you're taking away from the community that you were so happy to be a part of, it's just a nice, happy little community. The second that people feel like you're taking away from it, which is exactly what Allie's doing, the support that she, I'm sure, has seen up until this point, it's gone. I feel like, again, we see it a lot with influencers. A lot of them get to this place where they feel like they're untouchable, that they can get away with behaviors and attitudes that the rest of us can't. But because they're an influencer, or a wannabe influencer, even, we've seen that before, they can. Whether it's mean girl behavior, shady business decisions, or just being completely out of touch, they lose touch with reality and they think that their followers are going to just stick with them through anything. And as we've seen with things with different people over the years, that's just not the case. That doesn't happen. Look at James Charles, look at Avery Woods. I'm not saying that they don't still have some people who support them, but it's not the same as when they started because over time, they lose touch with reality. And one of the craziest things about this, and what we know is going to happen, Allie's gonna come out crying victim. But the thing is, it's all self-inflicted. Nobody forced her to do this. Nobody backed her into a corner. It wasn't some of unavoidable situation. It was a choice that she alone made. And what's kind of funny about this, if you're going to trademark a saying and go after anybody who uses it, at least make cool products with it, not generic crap that nobody wants. Like, I'm sorry, but what is this? What is this? It's just so boring. Like, who wants to wear that or pay $60 for it? She's charging $60 for this, and it's ugly. But anyway, I've seen a lot of reactions on TikTok and people just being. I saw. I'll put it in if I can find it. But someone made a little sticker that said hot girls don't trademark commonly used phrases. Thought that was good. But I think that's going to be it for today's video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. I know it's probably annoying when people ask, but it actually does help out a lot and it's free to do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. Did you hear about it? Are you a part of Book Talk? I will say on my last video I did regarding Book Talk, I said how I wanted to be reading a book a month. Um, and I haven't been reading a book every single month, but I have been reading books this year, which is great for someone who doesn't always read. I've actually been enjoying it lately. So also drop your book recommendations for me because I'm always looking for something new to read. But as always, thank you for being here. Hopefully I see you next time. Bye.